Oh, yeah, here we go again. Hello, and welcome into Ray on Sports. I am your host, Johnny Ray. In this podcast, we talk all things sports from my own opinion. You may agree or you may disagree, but all I do is ask that you listen. So come on in, buckle up, and let's take this ride. All right, good morning, and welcome again to another episode of Ray on Sports. This morning, first of all, happy Labor Day to everyone out there. Coming to you live from the JMXR studios here in Lancaster, California. And I have another awesome interview coming up today. Today, we're going to talk on what a great CEO of Performance Experience, Mr. Greg Walls. I'm having him come in right now, and I'm gonna give him a quick introduction, but I'm gonna have him come in right now. Good morning, Mr. Walls. How are you?
Johnny, how you doing, man? I'm good. I'm good.
Oh man, I'm doing great. I'm doing great on this Labor Day. How's your Labor Day going so far?
It's going. I got to do a little bit of labor on Labor Day, so it's going. I won't complain.
All right.
I won't complain.
All right. Don't we all? Don't we all? Okay. So, and I see you got the TCU behind you. Oh, wow. Is it Horned Frogs?
Horned Frogs, man. Horned Frogs through and through.
Man. So how'd you like that? Before I get to your interview, man, how'd you like that college football weekend?
You know what, man? I can't tell you how excited I am just about this season and all the new things that go along with it. New players in different places. You got 12-team playoff, which people have been screaming for, for years. They do it in FCS, they do it in high school playoffs. Like, why not? So we get to see it, and it extends the season. I know it gets a little stressful for coaches, but who wouldn't want to be excited playing in a playoff and seeing what you can do with home field advantage, man? I'm excited about the entire season. And my Frogs won, so.
All right. That's good. That's good. There you go. Are you guys, and I'm looking at the rankings. Are you guys ranked this year?
Not yet.
Not yet. That's a good answer right there.
I just care that we get in the top 12 and let's see what happens.
All right. There you go. As long as you get in, right? Get your foot in the door, right?
Yes, sir.
That's all you do. All you gotta do is get to the dance. That's what I hear.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Mr. Greg Wall is the owner and CEO of Performance Experience. His current role is to oversee the company's ongoing expansion efforts into emerging markets. In his previous role as a master trainer and performance coach, he was responsible for maximizing thousands of athletes' competitive opportunities in multiple sports and assisted more than 200 students with receiving college scholarships. As a thought leader, Greg has the opportunity to lead management training sessions for executives at Aflac, AT&T, Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, Texas Trust Christian Credit Union, and Crimson Building Company. Under his guidance, Performance Experience has received the 360 Magazine Top 100 Small Business Award, Mind Body Bold Fitness Innovation Award, and at the Mid-City Personal Training and the Mid-Cities Personal Training Company Award. Walls holds a bachelor's degree in education from Texas Christian University, owns more than 30 certificates as a master trainer and performance coach, and has coached college football at the Division I and Division II levels, and has been a trusted source of college coaches for the past 19 years. Walls is an all-conference cornerback, and he knows firsthand what it takes to prepare and perform in the realm of sports with excellence. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Ray on Sports, Mr. Walls. Or if you prefer Greg, it's up to you. You tell me.
Yeah, Greg is good, man. Mr. Walls was my old man. Good man.
Okay. All right. So let's get into it, Mr. Greg. Tell me a little bit more than the bio. Tell me something that's not in the bio. How about that?
I'm from South Mississippi. South Mississippi. I got to TCU by way of South Mississippi. Shout out Picayune Maroon Tide. And it's that experience or that recruiting process was a little bit of a trigger brought me to this point. It allowed us to help me with that understanding of going through recruiting, especially 20 some odd years ago. and then to see the evolution of recruiting and what it takes to be seen, to get the opportunity to maximize your potential was what was my motivation. You know, it to have a chance to further my career and to get a college degree, and then even have an opportunity to play at the highest level was part of the motivation that brought me to this point. And thousands of athletes and 200 something odd scholarships later, here we are, brother.
All right. Wow. Wow. That is impressive. That is very impressive. Now let's if you want to what you want to dive into your how you got started in the college career, or you want to dive into the how you helping youth athletes right now. We can go
We're
either
going
way.
whatever direction you want to go. I got 30 minutes. Whatever direction you want to go.
All right, man. All right. I love it. I love it. All right. So let's dive into that. Let's dive what got you into college sports and what got you into sports period.
Okay, so sports, it has been a major part of my life. It's actually my profession. It's how I get paid. So, you know, it's it's been a major factor in my life. The opportunities that athletics has given me, football specifically, to be able to coach at different levels, to be able to earn a living, coaching athletes, and then to be able to maximize earnings in my own right, as far as a performance coach or a sports performance coach or personal trainer, whatever title you want to give it, and then be able to work with a multitude of athletes, has given me a real perspective on what athletics does for a person, not just for their confidence, but for their career and the direction that they want to go. Um, it has been a major part of my life, and it's taught me many of the lessons that I use today. And that's what I try to instill in these young kids today. You know, the goal is always to win, regardless of what
Mhm.
anybody says. The goal is to win. Then you set the standards in place to give you the best opportunity to reach the goal. Because to me, when winning creates the exposure needed to maximize your opportunities and your potential. So uh, I'm a competitor. I believe in what athletics does for a human, boy, girl, and everything in between. And then the opportunities that it can provide as a professional, not just a professional athlete, but as a professional in sports. So that's where I am, man, and I stand by it. I live by it. Do everything from mentoring young athletes to putting together development programs for flag football athletes and softball athletes. It's just the opportunities are there within the realm of a multitude of sports.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So I had a question, and I had this on one of my last podcasts, talking about this NIL. This NIL. You as a performance coach, as a mentor, we talked about kids that come from a solid background. You know, they have the solid backing. They know what they they have a solid foundation. Put it like that. They have a solid foundation. They know where they're going. How do you how do you teach or how do you mentor the kids that don't have that? That don't have that solid foundation behind them, don't have that person behind them to say, that's not right, or no, we shouldn't do that yet, or be that I guess the angel on the shoulder kind of person that tell them which way to direct them. Because with the NIL, I know that the money is there. I'm a parent and I'm giving my student to you, and I want the best for my student, but I also want him to get your education. Tell me, how do you talk about that? How do you get him there?
Um, Access to quality information
Mm-hmm.
and guidance and direction. Look, I'm a huge fan of the NIL, by the way, first and
Okay.
foremost. Get your paper, get your
Right.
money. Knowing what to do with it and how to maneuver and navigate is the job of the village.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this all the time. I've said it on multiple interviews, regardless of what one believes, their religious background or what their mental, whatever they think, the Bible is a great informational source on how to do things and how to live. So I take a page from the Bible. Teach a child in the way he should go, and when he gets old, he won't depart from it.
Hmm.
Our job is to teach them how to maneuver through the access that they have and not to negate the opportunities that they've been given. So if somebody gives you an opportunity to make money on your name, likeness, and image based on your ability to perform for them, our job is to make sure they understand the access that they have, the negotiating power that they have, and then what's expected of them to receive that opportunity. And it can't be about us. It has to be about the overall picture. And for me, I have an advantage. I can be objective. I can see
Okay.
the picture for what it is because they're not my kids, Johnny. Those kids, they're not mine.
Okay.
So I don't have to bring a lot of emotion into a logical situation. So my guidance and the guidance of our coaches is based on the observation of what is in front of you and then the opportunities you have and the direction you want to go. Hey, experience tells me I I did it like that and it didn't work like that. But here are some avenues that you can take to make sure to ensure an opportunity for success. And you're going to hear me talk about opportunity a lot because as a man, and I've only been a man, I don't know, I can only say as a man because I've only been a man.
Right.
All you really want is an opportunity. That's it.
Wow.
You don't ever want to not have a chance. So you prepare for that opportunity. You know, you can't. To me, you. It's not fair to anybody, including yourself, to have an expectation without an understanding, and the
Hmm.
opportunities do that for you. So you can't be upset because somebody didn't give you something. You can only prepare for what's been given to you. And the one thing as a man that, in my opinion, you can only want is a chance, an opportunity. And then it's up to you to do something with that.
Wow. Wow. Now see you open the door to the Bible. See, I'm also a assistant pastor as well as a youth pastor. So
Mm.
I believe in that training the child in the way they should go and they won't depart from you. Um, but I don't want to go down that too much down the avenue because I know
Correct.
people you know um but I believe in that. I have children. I have a daughter and a son. Not in sports, but my daughter did call me last week and asked me about an opportunity that she had at a job at a career she's starting with, and she asked my advice on it, and I gave her my uncut advice. This is the way you should do it. You know the job she's taking is something I used to do, so I had experience in it. So I said, this is the way you handle this. It's almost like she has like a management position, and I used to be a manager. So I gave her
Your
my experience.
experience. Yeah.
Right. I gave it to her. I said, hey, this is how you navigate that water. You do things like this, you don't do this, you don't do that. And she's like, well, I appreciate you, talking to me about it. She said, that's why I called you, Dad, because you have the experience. And that's all we want for our kids, is to give them better than what we had.
It, to me, Johnny, insight allows foresight.
Right.
You
Right.
can't foresee or foreshadow or have a vision for something you don't understand. So if
Right.
somebody gives me insight, I can create a picture or a vision based on real information, not on hope.
Mm-hmm.
And hope is good if you have understanding.
Right.
And I'm a big believer in that. Like a kid, for example, the way I coach kids is if you're 8 or you're 80, I pick you up where you are.
Okay.
So if I have a 10-year-old child that you could see the skills, they're always on time, they take care of their own homework, you don't have to tell them a bunch of things. You see the management skills in them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you introduce them to a management situation. Come listen to this meeting or read this or let me read this to you. And they don't understand. That's okay. That's okay. You're introducing them to the things that they can maximize based on their already skill and ability. So if I turn you on the business at 8, Of
Mm-hmm.
course, you're not going to understand the lingo and the genre and all of like that,
Right.
but it's much better than being exposed to it at 31 when you're trying to open your own business.
Right.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Mm-hmm.
if we can give them those opportunities, those NIL opportunities at 8 or 9 or 10 years old, not just saying you're gonna make a lot of money when you get older and you keep balling and all that, but it's like, hey, I see what you got. I want you to read this. I want you to take care of this. Hey, take a look at this, or let me tell you about this. That way, when it's time to do something with it, you already have a couple of tools on your tool belt. That's how we give those kids opportunities to use what they have been given and take advantage of those opportunities that you asked for.
Wow. Okay. So you talked about I think you already talked about it a little bit, but let me ask you this. What's the difference between training athletes of different ages?
The approach,
Okay.
like how you teach them, kids aren't little adults.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to talk to them in a language that they understand so that they can comprehend what you want from them. That's why, you know, teachers, and that's my education background. That's why teachers teach math and or multiplication and song to get maximum effect. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's why they play games, the stand up, sit down game when you're doing spelling, because that's a language that they can understand. And it allows for engagement in something that they're interested in. So I teach the same drill. Fundamentals are fundamentals, Johnny.
Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
you stand on the foundation of fundamentals. How I get those fundamentals taught is going to be in the language I use and the direction I go with an 8-year old versus an 18-year old. Neither one of them may dorsiflex, but I may
Right.
not say dorsiflex to an 8-year old.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Their limited experience won't allow. Now I got to explain what dorsiflex is. I don't want to spend that time doing that. I want to show you exactly what I want from you. I want you to understand what I want from you so we can get that. So when you get old enough to understand science, I can say, hey, you know, when I was telling you to point your toes to your nose, it's just
Mm-hmm.
dorsiflex. And now
Wow.
they can relate that.
Right.
And
Right.
now it's a maximum opportunity to go and engage with that. And that's how we teach it. So that's
Right.
how we get results. It is proven. That's how we get a kid from 8 to 12 and they're operating at the level of a 14, 15-year-old.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, and I teach, like I said, I'm in the church, so I teach youth Bible study. I teach things of that, and I also have teachers that teach under me, and I tell them all the time, you got to teach it at their level, at the level the child is at. You can't take a 5-year-old and teach them at a 15-year-old level. You have to bring it to them slow, see where they're at. What I first tell them is know your audience, know what you're dealing with first,
Mm-hmm.
and that'll determine which way you can go. You start off with you give them a little bit, and once they get engaged with that, and you said, okay, I can deal with that. I can move on from that. And I'm sure in your line of profession that you do the same thing. You get your whether it's a kid from 5 or a kid that's 15. When you first meet them, I'm sure you're feeling them out, seeing where they're at mentally, all that, and then take that and go from there, because that way you can teach it, because everybody doesn't learn at the same level. For me, I'm a visual person. You give me a YouTube video, I can do it. But if you give me like the paper and have me to read it, then I'm a struggle with it, and that's just me. So I'm sure you can expound on that.
Yeah, we assess them all. That's a great point. We assess every one of them. Everybody that comes through, they get a consult and an assessment. Because we got to know, in order to meet you where you are, we got to know where you are. You pull your car into the shop, they're gonna put it on the diagnostics, and
Right.
they're gonna figure out what's wrong with it. That's the first thing we do, is we got to find out what we're. You have to know what you're looking at in order to
Mm-hmm.
know what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I teach my coaches. That's part one. The second part is I don't care what you know. It doesn't matter what you know. What matters is can you get them to do what you know?
Mm.
And if
Okay.
you can do that, you're a coach. Coaching is not telling people what to do. It's getting people to do what you need them to do to get the
Wow.
result they need to get. Period.
Wow.
So we gotta assess them. We sit with them and we have an understanding of what we're going into, and then from that understanding we create a program that can be followed according to either the individual, the group, or the team. And that's the hard part. It's
Mm-hmm.
simple, but that's the hard part. That's what makes you a professional, and that's why people pay for what you do.
Wow. Wow. Now I heard an interview, Coach Sanders, or some people call him Coach Prime.
Coach
He
Prime.
said in an interview that they asked him, because I guess the rumors are out there that he might go pro, that he might go to an NFL team. He want to coach an NFL team, and they asked him that. They said, "Could you coach NFL?" And he said, "Heck no." He didn't say heck, but he said another word. But he said
Mm-hmm.
no. He said, "Because I'm some grown men who got a paycheck, who making 31 million a year." He said, "I can't teach him like that." He said, "I like what I'm doing because those kids haven't got there yet, and I can
Mm-hmm.
teach them something." So you tell me, what's the difference between coaching college and pros?
Exactly what he said.
Okay.
It's and then they're professional. So it's the approach,
Okay.
and it's exactly what he said. Coaching takes a certain type of demeanor, intensity, ability to push, and then when you have a few barriers in the way of that, you got to maneuver around that, and sometimes it takes more time than you have to get things executed. So that's really the real difference. And then it's a lot of, when you're in the league, you're a pro. You're a pro all day. You're not a student and a
Mm-hmm.
player. Regardless of NIL, you still have classes that you register for to go to
Right.
that school and represent that school on the field and be a representative of that school in the classroom. It's not like that in the NFL. You're a pro. It's your job. This is how you collect your check, and this is the expectation. There is no classroom expectation outside of that. And you might get paid more than me, and I'm your
Wow.
authority. And we all know in today's world, money talks, man. Money
Yeah.
talks. Wallets make noise.
That's true. That's true. I mean, so how do you navigate that though? I mean, how does some coaches make it and some of them can't? Is it more of the authoritative level, or is it more of them trying to get through to the players? How does you got some coaches like Nick Saban that makes it into college but can't make it into pros. You got coaches like Pete Carroll who can go from college to pros. How how does that work? I mean, how do they get there? How do they get the respect of the players?
You know what? I don't know because I've never coached in the pro, so I can't give a valid answer.
Okay.
I can give my opinion, but I don't really know. My opinion is, you know, your relatability in the structure that you're placed in. Sometimes culture has to do a lot with that, and sometimes the understanding of the culture that you're dealing in has a lot to do with that. I've seen that firsthand. Um, but I don't really know how to push the level of success at the pro level versus college because I've never coached at the pro level. I do know culture has a lot to do with how you communicate with your athletes. I'll give you an example. In college, Chris Thurman, who is one of my favorite human beings on the planet, he coached me at TCU. He
Okay.
was my position coach. Um, Tremendous coach, still coaching today. We still talk all the time. He's a mentor of mine. But Coach Thurman, what I loved about him the most is that he treated us like men and
Mm.
he had our back. He held us accountable, but
Hmm.
he had our back. He didn't make us stand and face the fire alone. And to me, that was bigger than anything he could tell me on the field. So what he said to me on the field, I listened to because I know the way he treated me all the time.
Wow.
So that's one example that I have because as a player, you either play for a coach in spite of a coach or for the results you're looking for.
Wow.
And as a coach, you rather have them play for you because that way you can maximize
Right.
their opportunities and abilities.
Right.
So how do you get them to do that? Some kids need intense, hard nosed information and you can talk at them. Some kids
Mm.
you got to put your arm around, you got to talk to, you know.
Mm.
But as a coach, I ain't got time to decipher which kids I have to do like that in the midst of preparation for the game. I got to decipher that at a different time.
Wow. Wow. So let's talk about and I know you only got 30 minutes and we got about like 5-10 minutes left. Let's get into the parenting part of it. How do you deal with these parents that, hey, my son should be out there. Why is my son not playing? Because the reason why I say that, because I have a sister that lives in Las Vegas. Her son just started. He just started playing. He plays defensive. I say defensive end. That's what he plays. She didn't know what he played. She said, well, he gets out there and runs and stuff. So I went to his game and watched him play, and I gave him some pointers, and he was kind of excited. First, he didn't want to play. He didn't have the backing to play. Mm-hmm. And now he wants to play because it was exciting. And I told him some things. I said, you do this, you watch the guy, the things I know, as I've never played the game, but I kind of, I watch it and I study it, and I tell him stuff. And I said, well, do this on defense. You do that on defense. You watch your man, da-da-da-da. And he's like, I'm excited about it now. How do you deal with those parents that say, my kid should be starting every play, or, doing this and doing that, and the other kid is out there and he's stinking up the joint? And
what?
But my kid's not there.
I've been doing this for 20 some years. I don't even worry about it. I set the standard right off the top. It's two parts of this. As a sports performance coach, when I do one-on-ones or group training or stuff like that, we keep all the parents fully informed. And I like parental involvement. Mm-hmm. We keep them fully informed and keep them involved. I even tell them, man, you can take video, you can take pictures. I need you to see this process.
Okay.
Right? But don't coach the kids. You don't get to coach the kids. That's what I'm here for. I and not saying this to be rude, but I care less about your evaluation of your kid. My job is to look at the collective. So you can send information and tell me, yeah, I hear you, but our job is to evaluate and put the best 11 or the best 9 or the best 5 on the field, the diamond, or the court, period. So that is based in our evaluation. Of course, you think your kid is something. That's your kid. You're supposed to feel that way, but it's not mine.
Right.
So, I'm very objective in that analysis. So I don't even worry about it. And we set the standard right off the top. Don't coach your kids. Don't talk to me about coaching. Talk to me about anything else except that, because I'm not going to entertain it, because I have a team or a collective I need to worry about. Now, if I'm training your kid in their skill development, again, ask me as many questions as you want, but I don't care for your suggestions on how to get the result you're looking for from me. Wow. You know what I'm saying? It's like, again, I'll use diagnostics. If I'm putting your car on the diagnostic machine, I don't need you standing over my shoulder telling me what my machine says. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
So, and I expect the same respect. I will give you the same respect at your job or your profession. So be involved, and they're always informed, always updated, always involved. But your involvement does not include the influence of information.
Wow. And the analogy you just said about I don't come to your job and do that, there's a saying that says, I don't come to McDonald's and tell you how to make your fries.
Yeah, I just eat the fries.
I don't tell you how to do your fries, so come tell me how to do mine.
I have no. All right, I got 30 certifications and a degree. I really don't care, and I'm not saying that to be prideful or rude. I'm just saying I really don't care. About your suggestion of how to do my job. I do care about your child. I don't really care. You telling me how to do what I do.
Wow. Well, Mr. Greg, wow, this has been exciting. I know you only got 30 minutes. I know it's a Labor Day weekend, but I'd love to have you back, man. When you have more time, we can talk some more.
Absolutely.
Man, I love it.
Definitely chop it up. Absolutely, my man. Absolutely.
I love it.
You just tell me when, and we'll set it up and knock them down. I don't have a problem with that at all.
All right. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. We can talk some more about this when college gets really up and running. We can talk some more college. I know.
Yes, sir.
I know you got some opinions on these teams and these top teams.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
But I'm not gonna hold you too long, Mr. Greg. Mr. Greg Walls. I'm from the South too, man. My mother's from Beaumont, Texas. My grandmother's from Beaumont, Texas. So I was down there for like 12 years. So I was raised, call everybody sir and ma'am.
With the respect factor, that's
respect
another
factor.
topic that we need to talk about. I tell kids all the
Yes.
time, man. You know, I
Yes.
tell my authority and my elders, they're all yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. And
Right.
that's taking me. I'm 45, and that's taking me a long way in life.
Yes, and I'm about to hit that 6-0 mark. So yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's a big thing for me. My cousin Bree's on. Hey Bree, what's going on? But I'm not gonna hold you too long, Mr. Greg. I know you got things to do. I know it's a busy day because I got things to do. I got a wife that's breathing down my neck now.
I actually got practice I got to get to, so it's a good day. You know, I got, like I said, I'm laboring on Labor Day and see if we can go get us one.
Okay, well, Mr. Greg, if the people want to know how to get in touch with you, let them know real quick how to get in touch with you.
You can find us on YouTube at Performance Experience. If you just YouTube search Performance Experience Greg Walls, we have a page with all kinds of information, tips, different clips of videos we've done to maximize the training aspect of what we do. You can see us at The Performance Experience at Facebook, Performance Experience on Instagram, and Performance Experience on Twitter, where you'll see, again, videos and other information. And then just leave your info, leave us a message. We'll put you in, we'll continue to send tips and information to help maximize your kid. And then if you're in the DFW area, Dallas-Fort Worth area, hit us up. Send me an email at info@pesportsandrec.com, and I'll be more than happy to get with you. We can set up a consult or an assessment and get you rolling in skill or speed development.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Walls, for joining me today. Guys, this is real good information. You know, I bring the best here on Realm Sports. I'm not just a regular sportscaster. I'm coming after Stephen A. I'm coming after them all.
Go get them. Go get them.
I'm coming to get him.
Yeah, no doubt.
Thank you guys for talking to me. Thank you guys for listening to Ray on Sports for this week. Appreciate you guys coming in. I appreciate everything, everybody listening in. If you miss any of this interview, you can get me on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. I'm everywhere. You can find the interview there. And Mr. Wall said he will come back and talk some more. So we're gonna chop it up some more. Definitely gonna chop it up some more.
Absolutely.
All right. But thank you guys for listening. Until next time, this is Johnny Ray from Ray on Sports. Take care and God bless.